What's going on, everyone? Welcome back for episode number 31 of Rising Above Adversity AFC Bournemouth, and today you guys join me for a very special episode as of course we take on Manchester City in the Capital One Cup final. But before we get into any talk of the final, we're going to touch on our league results since the last episode, which of course was the semi-finals that we covered both legs against Newcastle. But since then, following that second leg against Newcastle, we extended our winless run in the Premier League to 8 games, following a 0-0 draw with Norwich, then a 1-1 draw with Southampton away, and then a 3-2 defeat against Aston Villa away. We did beat Stoke 3-2, as you can see, but then we followed that up with a 4-1 defeat against today's opponents, Manchester City. So our league form has really taken a hit in the last month or so, or couple of months. The second half of the season really has just been a poor one for us, and this is how it has left us in the league table. So as you can see, no longer in the top half of the table. We currently lie in 12th, quite comfortably in 12th at the moment. You can see we're 5 points ahead of West Brom, 2 behind QPR. I mean, we're not that far away from the top half, but our form in the league has been really concerning. Maybe it's been as a result of our cup run. I mean, I'm not too sure. I think goals have been quite a problem for us this year. Again, as I said in the last episode, it was always going to be a difficult task replacing Ongenda's goals from the previous year. It's been a pretty much impossible task to get someone in who could score the amount of goals he did in that season last year. But yeah, I'm just not sure what is quite going wrong at the moment. But you know, we should finish, I would say, mid-table to top half, which would be an improvement on last year. But we're not completely safe from the relegation battle just yet. You can see we're only 10 points clear of the drop. So if we continue the form that we're in, we could find ourselves being dragged into a relegation battle, which is something that I could not have imagined happening earlier on in the season when we started off very well. But we'll see how it develops. We're going to shift our focus back to today's massive game against Manchester City. And I want to take a quick look at something. Yes, the past meetings between the two sides. It's very interesting for me because, it's quite hard to see who has the mental edge going into this final. I mean, looking at it at face value, you would say, Manchester City have been dominant over us, which you would expect, of course. Man City are one of the top sides in the Premier League, so you would expect them to have the edge over us in most games. But the one game that we have beaten them in since this series has started, the one cup game that we have played against them was the Capital One Cup final in our first season, if you remember, and we won it. So again, as I said, it's really hard to know who has the mental edge in this game. Of course, if you remember on that day, Man City played a really strange side. I think they really underestimated us on that day. I remember they was playing a couple of 16-year-old kids in their lineup, and it was a second or even third string side they put out that day. I doubt that's going to be the case in today's game. I'm expecting a really strong lineup from City. But yeah, it's very exciting stuff. Just a quick look at something else as well. Of course, as you would expect, Manchester City are the strong favourites for this game. We are not expected to win the game, as was the case when we won it the first time around. So maybe that underdog status is something we can kind of use to our advantage. And there's going to be no pressure on us today. We're not expected to win the game. You can see for Man City, they've got a few injuries. Jovetic is out. David Silva's out. He actually picked up that injury in the 4-1 victory for them just a week or so ago. And Papadopoulos is doubtful for the game. We've only got one injury. Ole Christian, I mentioned that in the previous episode, is out for a few months with a hip injury. But that's it for the talking. Massive game, as you would expect. I'm going to bring you straight to both lineups for the game so we can see how both teams are shaping up for this Capital One Cup final. Right, so here we are with both lineups for the game. I'm going to start off with ourselves. Same system that we've been playing with for pretty much the whole season. The system that has got us to this final. We've got Bardi in goal. Back four, Debuchy, Winston Reid, Mamana, Oviedo. In midfield, we've got Sudachuk, Khedira, Godino on the right. We've got Entep on the left, Correa, up front. Vieto on the bench. We've got Stanku. Now, Stanku has just recently come back from injury. His match fitness is not quite up to scratch, so I've decided to start him on the bench. You know, he's an option we can bring off. We've also got Ben Davies, Munir, Steve Cook, Torvin, and Will King. So we've got really good options on the bench that we can bring off. Now, moving towards the Man City team, I can notice that they're resting quite a few players, but you know, still the team is absolutely incredible. They've got Joe Hart in goal, back four, Cancelo, Fontas, Mangala and Dodo, Fernando and Bentaleb in the centre of the park, Ambrose on the right, Isco as the central attacking midfielder, Milner on the left, and Hervin on Gender up front. I mentioned he is currently the top goal scorer in this competition. I was fully expecting him to start this one. Of course, he didn't feature in any of the 2 league games that we've played against City this year. But we know about Hervin on Gender, of course. We know all about him, but stopping him is going to be an entirely different matter. It's very interesting. A bit of a subplot, of course, for the final. On the bench, look at the options. They've got Ricardo Rodriguez, Yaya Toure, Dzeko, Company, Mbemba and Kevin Volland. So, you know, they can change the game at any time they want. Some absolutely incredible players. Sergio Aguero is not even in the squad. I'm not sure if he's injured. I don't think he is. He wasn't on the team news as injured. But, yeah, Aguero not even in the squad. No David Silva. So, just the talent that they've got at their disposal is just ridiculous. But these are the 2 lineups. Pretty nervy times. I mean, the last time we played Man City in the Capital One Cup final, after seeing their lineup, I was quietly confident that we could win it. This time around, they have got not a weakened side, but it's kind of a second string side. But the amount of quality that is there is going to be a tough ask. But there's no pressure on us in this game, as I said. We're not expected to win it. But that's it. No more talking. The Capital One Cup final. Can we do it again? Can we secure European football for next season once again? It would be an incredible story if we could. Let's get into the game. So unfortunately, something that has happened to me before happened once again here, as my audio just completely cut out again. I'm not sure why this happened. This happened to me in a previous episode a while ago, but thankfully this time I managed to realise that this happened when I got to half-time in the game. So this is going to be a bit of a strange commentary, because the first half is me recording after I've done all the recordings for the video, and I'm recording the audio separately. But for the second half, of course, as I said, I realised what had happened, the problem, and the second half audio is kind of live. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I hope you guys understand. Like, I'm really not sure what happened, but again, early on in the game, we're just a minute in, and we were looking to create our first chance. Of course, you would expect us to be on the back foot really early on in the game, but we came forward with it here. Vieto managed to get the ball. He plays it out wide to Ntep, and Ntep gets to the byline, puts the ball in the box. There's a bit of a scramble in there, and Vieto incredibly puts us 1-0 ahead. Not even 2 minutes gone in the game, and it was a start we could not have dreamed of. But as you would expect, Manchester City came back looking to score very quickly. You can see in the 17th minute here, Isco gets the ball out wide. He whips in the ball. There's a header in there. There's a scramble in the box, but we managed to get it clear. And at that point, you may expect us to kind of go a bit defensive, look to hold out. But no, we didn't rest on our laurels. We still tried to play the same way, go forward, and whacking Correa there with the effort, denied only by a good save by Joe Hart. But that wasn't the end of our chances in this first half, as we came forward again here. You can see from a corner, ball is dealt with, but it comes back, and Ntep plays it in to Luciano Vieto. Vieto gets the strike away, but it's a good save by Joe Hart to deny, and we're coming towards the end of the first half now, and we're still looking to go forward. We're still looking to get that second goal. It was a fantastic first half, and Ntep gets the ball on the wide right, gets a shot away. It's blocked by the defender, but it falls straight back to Ntep, and we take a 2-0 lead. It was just not expected for us to be so not comfortable in the game, but to take a 2-0 lead in the first half against Manchester City was absolutely magnificent. And that was it for the highlights in this half, as we took a 2-0 lead into halftime against Manchester City. So as I mentioned, due to the issues with my audio, the first half of this game, the audio has to be recorded separately after I've recorded this video. Thankfully, I managed to see what happened at halftime and kind of sort that out. So the second half of this game that we're getting into now will be, you know, me commentating as I see it when it happens live for you guys. So we're 2-0 up, incredibly fantastic half. I've told the players to keep it up, but we couldn't have hoped for a better first half in the game. 45 minutes, we are very, very close to club glory. There's still a lot of work to do. Of course, it is Manchester City, and they can definitely bring themselves back into it. But we've got the 2-0 lead. We've done all the hard work so far. Hopefully, we can just keep it up and secure another trophy in this series. So first highlight of the second half, it will be a corner for Manchester City. Ambrose with the effort after the floated ball in from Isco, but well dealt with, and they will have another corner though. Isco again will float the ball in, but well dealt with by Sami Khedira. About 25 minutes to go in the game now. I'm going to make some changes, freshen it up, particularly in the midfield. You can see Sami Khedira, who's had a brilliant game for us, a little bit tired out there, so I'm going to bring him off. I'm going to bring on Nikosos Stankiu. Going to switch them around there. I'll set Gordino to a deep line playmaker. That's the only change I'm going to make. The players out there have been doing fantastic so far, so I don't want to disrupt anything really. So I'm going to confirm that. 2-0 in the lead still. Not much has happened in the second half, but we are 25 minutes away from cup glory. So just 10 minutes to go in the game now. It's been a really quiet second half, which from our point of view has been excellent, and we could kill it off here. I think, you know, we've done it now, but we are so close. Entep with the ball on the right wing. Can we get that third goal and just completely confirm that we will be the champions of the Capital One Cup? Brian Oviedo brings it into the box. Gordino on loan from Bayern hits the post. So close to wrapping things up, but with just a few minutes to go, I'm going to stick with it now. I'm not going to cut anything here. Joaquin Correa with the cross, and it looks like it's going to be dealt with by the Manchester City defence. But as I said, with just a few minutes to go, a comeback now for Man City is highly unlikely, but you never know. They have the quality in order to do it. But we're heading into injury time now. I don't think it's going to be possible. 92 minutes is up on the clock. There was just 2 minutes at a time. The full-time whistle blows at Wembley. The players run onto the pitch. Bournemouth have won the Capital One Cup. We've got one over City in the Capital One Cup final once again. Wow, what an incredible performance. And of course, that means European football for Bournemouth once again next season. We had a nice little journey in the Europa League after we won the Capital One Cup the first time. And we're going to be enjoying European football again. We wasn't expected to win the game. We were the underdogs. You can see Hervin Ongenda finishes the competition as top goal scorer, but we kept him quiet in this one. Our knowledge of him, we used our knowledge of him, to stop him. Our defence was absolutely incredible. You can see Will Keane and Vieto also on the top goal scorers list there. But there it is. It was a very even game. Man City edged it with shots, but we were slightly better in keeping the ball. But we were clinical with our chances. We were thoroughly professional. Kept Man City really quiet. The chances they had were really not clear cut, and I can't believe we've actually won. It was I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Man City are of course a fantastic side, and to beat them again, just incredible. And as I said again, it means European football for us next year. Just some news items to confirm what you already know. You can see it there. We're on the list once again as the Capital One Cup winners. You know, it's not a huge trophy in English football, but for a club like us, we're not the biggest club. We're not a massive club in the Premier League. To win the Capital One Cup twice in the space of 4 years is just an incredible achievement. You can see there, my name is on the lips of Bournemouth fans. The board, of course, delighted that we've won the Capital One Cup. So we'll have a look at the fixtures. It's going to take a little bit of time to come down from this, but we're going to have to do it very quickly, as we've got a game against Everton in the Premier League in just 3 days' time. So we're going to shift our focus back to league. Of course, we've still got a job to do in the league. We're not safe from relegation yet. Of course, it would be, it would take a disastrous run of form for us to get relegated, but when we're still mathematically not safe, we need to be focused, and we need to be professional. So we've got Everton coming up in 3 days' time. Not sure when I'm going to come back. We're going to have to see how things develop really, and then I'll decide what game I'll come back for, if I do come back for any more games, of course. You know, as I said in the end of the last season, I don't want to commentate over games that mean absolutely nothing. So if we're still in kind of this mid-table or just in the top half position, then I may not commentate over any more games this season. But we'll see what happens. I'll play through, as I said, and we'll see how things develop. But there it is. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed seeing us win the Capital One Cup final, please do drop this video a like. I'm very sorry for what happened with the audio in the first half. Of course, as I'm doing this now, you know, it's I can't speak. But basically, I'm sorry for what happened in the audio in the first half. But the second half, of course, was commentated live. But there it is. If you're not subscribed to the channel, this structure of this is terrible. But if you're not subscribed to the channel just yet, please do subscribe to the channel. It's been the Halfback, and I'll see you guys in a bit.